Man, this thing's the talk of the town. After the showcase, I was kind of, I don't want to say let down. I don't think it was a bad showcase, I just don't. I think there were enough games there to get anyone excited. There was a lot of great games there. Perfect Dark, Doom, Gears of War E-Day. Marcus Phoenix is back, baby. But I don't know, I kind of left the show feeling a little bit empty. And I think it has to do with the vibes, man. The vibes are fucking off. Just immediately cutting to Phil Spencer, cheesing in front of the camera, big ol' shit-eating grin on his face. Like, that feels weird. And not to mention, we just laid off hundreds of people and closed multiple studios. And this is how you want to present yourself. I'm not saying start the show with somber vibes, but I don't know, maybe just with a little more reverence, understand how things are in this industry. Even Keeley kind of spoke about it too. I thought he had a really great speech at the beginning of Summer Game Fest, pointing out that, hey, all these AAA games, all these AAA studios are going through the ringer right now, but smaller studios and indie studios are carrying the industry. And he made a really good point in pointing out all the titles. And I thought that was really well done. We didn't linger on it too much. It wasn't like a huge, big part of the show. It was just something to mention. Let's move on. And now let's show some games. I think that they could have had their cake and eat it too here. I think just a little address by Phil Spencer sort of, it would have helped the vibes for sure. All right, we got to talk about the games, right? That's the most important thing. No one gives a fuck about Phil Spencer and Matt Booty. Let's talk about the games. They opened the show with Call of Duty. No, I'm not going to sit here and talk about Call of Duty. Let's talk about just some of the big games that they announced, some of the big gameplay segments we got to see. The first big game they show is Doom. Doom, the Dark Ages. Look, it looks awesome. It really does. It looks incredible. I thought maybe they could get that out this year. It doesn't look like the case. The interesting thing is, I want to compare Doom to Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is set to come out this year. Doom is set to come out, I'm assuming, fall next year. I feel like I have a better sense of how Doom plays. I mean, obviously, it's Doom. We know how Doom plays. But I feel like I've seen more of Doom in just full-on gameplay than I have of Indiana Jones. I think that that's sort of a big qualm that I have with this showcase as well. We have games coming out this year. What are Xbox's big games coming out this year, this fall? It's Avowed, and it's Flight Simulator, and it is Indiana Jones. I think Indiana Jones is like winter. And I feel like Avowed had the worst trailer there. A terrible, terrible trailer. Just text on the screen that's meaningless, dialogue that's meaningless. I know there's a good game there. We have seen gameplay of it. I know there's good stuff there. I'm confident in Obsidian. I know that they can put out a good title. But this trailer, man, is just miserable. It gives me no reason to play this game. And that's coming out this year. That's coming out soon. Where's the gameplay? Where's the gameplay deep dive? Where's the gameplay segment where we can just go through a dungeon or show something off? I don't know. I was missing that. I feel like we got more gameplay of Perfect Dark, a game that has no release date, possibly 2026. We got more gameplay of that than the shit coming out this year. Indiana Jones started off with a big cinematic that was kind of boring, to be honest. The dialogue was bad, and the gameplay that they showed was from the previous trailer. There was no new gameplay. Like a little bit walking in the snow a little bit and looking at the corpse with the stone. That's like the only like really new gameplay here. The rest is all cinematic. And then we cut to the previous trailer. What's going on, man? This game's coming out real soon, right? I mean, maybe it gets pushed back, right? I don't even believe it is coming out this year at this point. Maybe it gets pushed back. But I have to imagine if it's getting pushed back, it's coming out in January or February or maybe March at the latest. So I don't know. To me, this was the show when you were supposed to sell me on the games that are coming out this year. Sell me on Indiana Jones, because I'm not sure yet. I love Machine Games. I'm a big fan of that studio, but I'm a little skeptical because of what we've seen so far. I've not seen just clear-cut, uncut gameplay. We have not played a level yet. And it's strange to me that we haven't yet.
Choo-choo! Choo-choo!
Not everything was a blunder. As I mentioned, they showed a lot of gameplay of Perfect Dark. And probably the biggest surprise of all of Summer Game Fest, to be honest. I was not expecting to see this game. And if we were going to see it, I was not expecting to see gameplay. And I probably wasn't expecting that gameplay to look this good. I don't think it looks amazing by any means, but it looks fun to play. They're giving me a reason to play this game, to get excited about this game. It's got kind of like a Dishonored, Dying Light vibe. Visually, it's doing it for me. It's very colorful. I think it's set in Egypt. I love the spy gadgets, man. I love the Joanna vision, being able to see through walls and see enemies sneaking up around and everything. That's nothing new, but I think the presentation of this game was kind of sleek. I think it looks kind of fun. I'm not 100% sold just yet, but again, it's probably the most gameplay we got out of a lot of these games, so I don't know. It was a pleasant surprise. Something else that was also a pleasant surprise was South of Midnight. Now, I'm not... South of Midnight's complicated because visually it is an absolute delight. It's visually striking. I love the animated on twos kind of frame rate. I love that. I love these characters. I love this big talking catfish thing. I love our main character. I love the setting. You know, we're in the bayou, we're in the swamps, like that I can get behind. There's some music that pops up towards the end of the trailer. There's like a vocal track there. There's like a choir involved. I don't know if that's in-game, if that's happening at that moment, but it kind of worked. I like the vibes. But the combat is where things get a little iffy for me. The combat, I was just not feeling the impact of the attacks. And that aspect, I think, needs a little work. But exploration looks super fun. Gliding around looks super fun. I don't really know, like, what kind of game this is. Is it... I mean, I don't want to say a Souls-like. Is it an action game? Is it open world, exploration-based? I'm sure that info might be out there if I did some digging, but color me intrigued. Mixtape was another one. Probably my favorite game of the entire show, to be honest with you. Mixtape looks kind of beautiful, to be honest. Another animated on twos and you know, has that kind of Spider-Verse frame rate. But it was the dialogue and the characters that I was really digging here. It's got this kind of Ferris Bueller vibe, Perks of Being a Wallflower vibe, and that I'm kind of into. It felt very youthful. Obviously, I love the 80s music. Not a ton to go on. You know, it doesn't look like, you know, this isn't the full blowout just yet on this game. But yeah, I was into Mixtape. All right, we got some positive stuff in. Let's talk about the stuff I didn't like. The State of Decay 3 trailer, just somber, dour, and boring. I swear they do not know how to market this video game. Because I remember State of Decay 2 having a very similar trailer. Like 3.5 minutes long, super boring, super sad, just only focusing on the somber and miserable parts about a zombie apocalypse. Now, I know a zombie apocalypse shouldn't be fun, but your game should look fun. I don't care about these characters. I don't care about the little dinosaur keychain. That's not giving me a reason to get excited about the game. And another, I'm going to get some flack for this one. Another poor trailer, in my opinion, was Fable. And Fable was probably the thing I was looking forward to most going into this show. Fable, to me, like, it just felt like a repeat of the last trailer. I feel like I still don't know what this game's about. I still don't know how this game really plays. We see very small snippets of gameplay. The visuals are looking real interesting. It does look really, really pretty, but the faces kind of look weird. Things look really blurry. There's like a lot of bloom. Obviously, that stuff's not final. I realize this game is still heavily in development. But I don't know. Like, I feel like the trailer presented itself the same way the last trailer presented itself. You know, get your humor in. You know, get your funnies in that just really don't resonate with me at all. And then show just tiny little snippets of gameplay. No release date. There was a lot of that, you know, like there was a lot of 2025 games. Let's talk about Gears of War E-Day. This was, to me, I just don't get it. I really don't. When I hopped on Twitter after the show, big mistake there. When I hopped on Twitter after the show, so many people were just really, really hyped about Gears of War E-Day. And, I get it. Gears of War, you got your fan base. I'm glad that there's another Gears of War game coming, but we're talking about the Coalition here. This is a studio that only makes Gears games. Is it a big surprise that there's another one? And what they showed of the game really wasn't anything at all. And again, no release date. I don't know. We've made fun of other companies for doing the same thing. Big, CG, visual trailer, a logo. That's about it. Maybe see it in 2026. I don't know, man. Like, how am I supposed to get excited for that? It reminds me of the Metroid Prime 4 logo just popping up. I just watched the Ubisoft Forward, and they just showed the Prince of Persia Sands of Time logo with the date 2026. And the crowd roared. I'm not excited about that kind of stuff anymore. Just showing a logo or just showing a title for a game doesn't quite grab me as much as it used to. And again, it feels manipulative. It truly does to me. It feels like, hey, Xbox is in a sour and gross place right now. What do we got in the pipeline? What can we tease to get fans back on our side? Gears of War E-Day, it's not ready to be shown yet. Well, maybe we can get together a visual trailer and just announce it. That way we can shut the fans up about Tango Gameworks. That feels gross. That feels like gross. That's kind of what this whole show felt like. Again, the timing is just so horrible, right? It's really all about the timing. That studio just got shut down recently, weeks ago at this point, and I think that's really affected my mindset going into the show, clearly. Because during my reaction, I just kind of wasn't feeling the energy, even though I was looking at games that I want to play. Another one, the 33 game, the RPG, that looks really, really sick. That looks awesome. I'm way into that. The weird mouse game, that was super cool. The Fragpunk game with the cards, that was like one of the funner looking games that I saw at the showcase. And I'm not even a multiplayer gamer. Like I don't play shooters like that. And that game was getting me a little excited. There was a lot of really cool stuff here, but just the energy of Xbox kind of sucked the hype out of the show for me. I feel like cursed with this knowledge of all these layoffs and that fucking documentary and Matt Booty, and just seeing Sarah Bond speak this way is just like, it's insane to me. It's insane that these people are talking to us this way after what's happened.
By bringing your games into the future with our commitment to game preservation, by pushing the technical boundaries in our future hardware.
I think a way Xbox could have sorted out this entire issue is just not have Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, or Sarah Bond there. Let the devs speak. Phil Spencer has said multiple times, it's all about the teams. We're focused on the teams right now. Let the teams speak. Get off the stage. Stop smiling and let the teams talk about their games. Let someone from Blizzard talk about Diablo. Let someone from South of Midnight. I would love to hear one of the devs talk about that game. Get an art director to talk about that game. I want to know what's going on. What's the vibe? What mood do I need to be in? I feel like the show was kind of lacking identity. It felt very corporate and, I don't know, just weighed down by all of the outside drama. Comment below, give me your thoughts on this Xbox showcase. What were some of your favorite games there? But also, let me know if you're in a similar space as me. Do you feel this way? During my reactions, I only have comments of people saying that I should just shut up. Just stop. Just ignore those issues and just enjoy the games. And I'm not above that. I definitely think that it's okay just to shut that stuff out and just focus on what these teams are making. I wish I could have seen some of those teams. I wish I could have seen some of those people speak about their own games. But comment below, give me your thoughts on this show. Don't hate me too much, please. There were great games here. It was a fine show. It's my own personal sort of nebulous going on that's affecting my feelings towards this show. All right. I don't hate Xbox. I don't hate these games. Gears is going to be fine. Fable is probably going to be awesome. Perfect Dark look cool. I'm not shitting on Xbox. Well, I'm kind of shitting on Xbox.